In this lesson I'm going to teach you a few ways of playing the opening statement to Misty using different harmonisations. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, Jamie Holroyd here helping you learn jazz guitar. Welcome to the channel. In this lesson I'm going to be taking the opening phrase to Misty, which on a lead sheet is written as just in brackets 2 notes, B flat and G going into an E flat, and going through 5 different ways that you can harmonise that. If you're new to jazz guitar and you'd like to get a PDF that tells you all the basics you need to know to get started, then please check out the link below to my free beginner jazz guitar guide. If you'd like a PDF for any of the examples in this lesson, then they're available on my Patreon page. Let's get into it. For example number 1, we're going to be playing a B flat sus9 chord, which is kind of like a drop to F minor 7 chord, but moving the A flat to a B flat. Then we're going to a B flat 13, a rootless voicing, and then we're playing an E flat major 7, which is basically kind of like a piano voicing. We've got root, 3, 5, 7. So that one more time, that statement. This works because we're setting up a 5 cadence into the 1 chord. A sus chord is always a good way of delaying a dominant or a major chord, and that's what's happening here. Suspended chord, dominant chord, and then finally a 1 major 7 chord. Example number 2 sounds like this. So here we're starting with an F minor 11, which is just basically setting up the 5 chord with its preceding 2 chord. And then we're going to E7 sharp 9, which is using some tritone substitution here. So we've got a chromatically descending bass line, and that last chord I've now changed that as well. Of course you could use the same chord that we used in example 1, but here I've basically taken the 5th of E flat and raised that by a semitone to get an E flat major 7 sharp 5. So F minor 7, F minor 11, E7 sharp 9, and then E major 7 with a raised 5th. Example number 3 sounds like this. So what's going on here? We're basically using chords from the half whole diminished scale. The first chord is a B flat 7 with a flat 9, and then if you move the exact same shape down, then you've also got a flat 9, but you've also got a 13th as well right there. And the chord which both of these dominants resolve to is an E flat major 7, but this time we've actually removed the 3rd, and we've got this nice open major 9 sound. So that's example number 3. Okay, that was example number 4. And what we're using here is a backdoor 2-5 or a German 6th. So in the key of E flat, the backdoor 2-5 would be A flat minor, D flat, and we're basically using those to harmonise those first 2 melody notes. So for the B flat, I'm using an A flat minor 9 there, and then for the G natural, that gives us the sharp 11 of the D flat 7 chord. So we're using that, and to make this extra crunchy we're using a D triad, which kind of works with an E flat bass note, right? I mean, it's got an F sharp right there, and then an A and a D, so it's a bit more out there, a bit more crunchy, but it kind of works in context. It's always good to use a few triads now and then, and on this last example I'm just using 3 note triad voicings for each of the voicings here. So we're starting with a G minor triad, and then we're going to a C minor triad. Both of these are diatonic to E flat, so you're not really setting up a cadence like you are in the previous example. And then we're resolving to a G minor triad, which is really found within the early voicing that we've been using. Now the good thing with triads is that you can really start to experiment here and add some more crunch if you desire. So this G minor triad, if we use that in a symmetrical way, this kind of gives us more of a B flat altered tonality here. So you can use that if you want a little bit more crunch. Of course, in the previous example there, we talked about using a D triad instead of a G minor triad. So you could go something like a G minor triad move that shape down, and then use a D triad, or use both together. So that would be the last example using triads. For most of the examples, you heard me just strum the chords, but you can do all kinds of things with your right hand to get some more mileage out of these techniques. Maybe you want to play the melody note, so there you hear me play a melody note, then the chord, and then I played the bass note, then the chord. So the melody's still there, but that's a bit more of a pianistic way of getting some more variation in how you play that opening phrase. Another way that you can have variation is to add movement to the chord once you've played it. This works tremendously well on the last chord. So there you heard kind of like a Hendrix-ism going on there, where you've gone from the 9th of the chord to the 3rd. And of course the good thing about Misty is that this A section does repeat 3 times, so maybe on the first A section you could use the second time, and then the third time you could use a triad. So you can mix all of these approaches to get an interesting arrangement of the song that you don't have to play the same way each time. Okay, so that concludes this lesson on Misty. I hope this helps you out and gives you some new ways that you can harmonise the opening statement. If you like more lessons like this, then please subscribe to this channel and click like if this video helped you out. Thanks for watching.